Hey everybody, just Jesse here, welcoming you back into another day of accountability, welcoming you back into my garage, my man cave. I know I've been absent for a few days, and that's been me just searching my heart. I don't want to put anything that I feel that God isn't moving up for anybody. I don't want it to feel like a chore. And so I did some soul searching and some praying, and I'm back. It's been a few days, I know. I did slide, but I still fell forward. We're moving again. We can be filled with a bunch of day ones, knowing that eventually we're going to carry on, and we may slip and stumble, but we can always start at day one again. There's never I quit, I give up, as long as we keep trying and keep believing in God. So today's Tuesday, it's June 16th in the year 2020, and I read Psalm 91. Now, Psalm 91 talks to us about God being our refuge, and there isn't much more of a comforting chapter in the Bible than Psalm 91, in my opinion. Now, Psalm 91 describes the benefit that believers have through faith in God, things like promises of security. So let's just take a look and see what Psalm 91 says about God's promises and then how leaders can benefit from them. Verses 1 and 2 show us God's presence. The believer can rest assured knowing that they won't be lonely through their faith in God. Now, when you have faith in God and when you ask God to be your Savior, you have that go-to that you can say, God, I'm feeling lonely today. I need to talk to somebody, and God listens. He tells us that once we're His, He always listens to us. Now, whether or not He answers us in our timely manner or not is something that's completely different, but He will always listen to us when we ask for Him. So, when you're feeling down, when you're feeling lonely, start asking for God, start talking to God. Verses 3 and 4 show us God's protection, meaning that if we take risks, we'll be safe for His glory. Now, God sometimes wants us to take the initiative and take the step of faith so that He can carry us the rest of the way. Now, I'm not saying to go out and run across all the lanes of traffic on the freeway and say, all right, God, you got me, let's make it. That's not what I'm talking about. But things that you have been praying about, things that are happening in your family that you're asking God for help with, like, just know that when you take the risks, sometimes a new job, sometimes a new church, sometimes new friends, pray about it. And if God's telling you to move, but you don't know when, take that risk, take that step, and God will carry you the rest of the way. And verses 5 and 6 show us about God's peace. And we don't have to feel insecure that the unknown is out there. Because we don't know what the future holds per se, we do know a little bit about what our future holds if we're believers. But if the unknown happens and we don't really know what's going to happen from there, then we need to know that God gives us peace. He'll bring that into us as long as we ask for it. Now, verses 7 through 10 show us God's perspective by giving us an external view of life. An eternal view of life in order to keep us steady. So that's the one thing that we do know about the future. Once we're saved, we can rest assured and know that the future holds us going to heaven with God. Now, that being said, we do still have to, work on our lives, and we do still have to work through the struggles of, being a believer in today's society. There are lots of things that come up that can really just hinder us, but we have to find the strengths that God's set out for us through these actions. Like, God's not going to put you in something that there's no exit to. He's not going to say, hey, watch this, as He fails. God just doesn't do that. Now, God provides in verses 11 through 13. No matter what our need is, God meets our need no matter what. Now, it may not always be in our timing, but He'll meet our need, and He'll do it for His glory as well, because God shows His power often, and when He does, that's what helps deliver us to reach our goals, and that's what verses 14 through 16 talk about. Really, in our everyday lives, we have trials and periods of rest, but our God is a jealous God, and He loves to show off His power. He even asks us to test Him in it. And you know what's going to happen? When we test Him in it, God's going to show up. He even asks us to remember that no matter what, God has our back. We aren't lonely. We're secure in everything that we do. We know what's waiting for us in the end, and He always provides our needs. He always delivers us through to see our goals. So thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. I know it's been a while. Look forward to another video tomorrow. I look forward to seeing you guys again, and seeing you tomorrow. There's always an open spot on my couch. You guys, I hope that you guys have a safe day, and that you go and grow, and that you're blessed, and just know that you're loved.